radio or driving to the punk rock show. Well, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. I've got nothing to do today, and you got so many things to say. Still, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. You're just another voice in the crowd, and you don't dare to say what's not allowed. You bought a new pop filter and a fancy microphone, so go enjoy yourself and leave me alone. Or driving to the punk rock show. Well, I don't wanna hear your podcast. I don't wanna hear your podcast. I got nothing to do today, and you got so many things to say. Still, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. You're just another voice in the crowd, and you don't dare to say what's not allowed. You bought a new pop filter and a fancy microphone, so go enjoy yourself and leave me alone. Go enjoy yourself and leave me alone.
Happy Friday! Welcome to the show.
I'm Mary.
I'm gonna fix this.
That's Dave. I'm gonna fix this.
Okay.
What's happening, y'all?
We got Christmas for one more week.
Yes. Did you guys have a very Merry Christmas?
I hope you had a nice time.
It feels like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't.
There you go.
You know, it was like 5 days ago was Christmas.
Thank you, Aaron.
But it feels like about a month has gone by. All right. So what's going on? I want to say hi to everybody, but Dave's touching the mouse, and I dare not touch the mouse when he's touching the mouse.
I feel like we're a little...
Because it's his mouse, so...
I guess
Christmas is over. No, it's not. Christmas for me just started because now I get to relax, you know, and
I meant to get you
enjoy.
a Christmas present.
What's that?
I meant to get Aaron a Christmas present.
Oh. Yeah, now it's my time to relax and enjoy the season.
Yeah.
For the next week and a half, you know, because
I'm here to help.
The 12 days of Christmas, yes. So it starts as soon as all the kids start opening their gifts. And I'm just like, it's done. So, all right, I'm going to scroll up here with this awesome mouse that Dave got for Christmas from day 3. Yeah. I'm going to be very careful touching it.
Yeah, feel that mouse wheel. I got it unlocked.
I know.
So
I know.
Rolls.
Ooh, it just rolls all the way up
so you
and
can
down,
look.
huh? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Aaron's here. You're totally first and all the way
You done
there.
messed up, Aaron!
On all the platforms. Aaron, how are you? Nice to see you. Craig Leach, first on
Hey,
Facebook.
Craig. What's going on?
Tim Wysong's here. Hey, how was Christmas with the family? Keith is here on time.
Oh.
He's doing this on purpose, Dave.
You're late, Keith. Which doesn't surprise me because you're a bad person.
Quirt is here. Hey, Quirt. Merry Christmas.
Wow, what's up, Quirt?
Howdy,
How
Quirt.
was it? How was your Christmas? Yay. Coneth. Hola to the West Coast. How are you,
Keep meaning
buddy?
to get you a button.
Yes. Yep. Gear, also West Coast, Best Coast. How you doing? Happy Friday. Carl.
Oh!
Yay.
I know you've done
Llamas.
something.
I see an Alan face. How did we get Alan's face?
That's you have to be a higher tier on Alan's channel.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I hope he shows up. Lyle Duriel, what's going on?
Hey, Lyle.
I have to
How you
negotiate
doing?
this mic arm with my drink.
Well,
It's easy right now, but
just be careful.
It could
Yeah.
get tricky.
Now I'm going to be nervous. So, working on getting cookies out of the oven. Cookies, whiskey, and LLN. Sounds like a really fun night, Coneth. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Flashing emoji. Okay, so I'm just making sure. MC is here. Oh, you forgot to think of
what's his name?
I don't know.
Marcel. I think it's Marcel. Oh, okay, that's right.
Oh, yeah, Craig, like I said, Christmas is not over. Ryan, I thought you were at work. What are you doing here?
Hey, Ryan!
Which is totally fine that you're here. I'm not like, you get back to work.
Little Alan heads bouncing around back there.
That's great. That's great. Yes. Let's see. Christmas, so much fun. So many toys. Oh, that's so great. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I'm still like, I keep pushing it back under the tree. I'm like, it needs to go into their rooms, but I need to like get into their rooms first. And
I think they've already forgotten a lot of the stuff that they got.
yeah, I
Just
keep
sitting
like
under the tree.
resorting and like showing like,
Like, oh, there's that toy. They didn't touch that yet.
no, Craig, it is not super over, you know. Oh, Gary's here.
Gary, what are you doing here? You're causing a scene!
Almost on time, and that's good. That's good. You did really good. Only 360 days until next Christmas, and you know people are thinking that. Yeah.
We start planning.
Oh, hey, I need breaks from momming, you know, so I don't snap out. So I dig it. Can I close this here? Can I just close that, or you need to have that open?
I don't know.
No, it's fine. We'll just leave it there.
You just hit YouTube.
Okay, sounds good.
You're just sick of looking at Katy Perry.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of like feeling bad about myself right now. So, you know, got here during the intro. Okay. Oh, had to dig up the old password, right? Well, guys, guess what? Tonight we have a guest, so we're going to
we gotta
super
move
hurry.
along.
We got to move along so that we can talk to Luke, and you guys hang out and then we can chat too. You know how it goes. It's been a while since we've had. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So we did movie night last week?
Yeah,
Or
we did a
Tuesday.
movie on Tuesday. We don't even have to spin the movie wheel for this week because it's going to be Scrooged. That's our
Oh, yeah.
last. Like we
Okay.
decided. I mean, I talked to you about that at the beginning of the season, but it's been the last movie we've watched every movie night for the last couple seasons. You know, like
Yeah, that's fine.
years that we've been doing this. So, I was like, we have to watch Scrooged. So that's what movie on Sunday is going to be. Scrooged. It's going to be the brand new year. Okay, so guys, stick around because I want to hear all about your New Year's plans and all that jazz. So, all right, let's trade, Ryan. Seriously, I'm willing to do it for a week. I mean, I told Dave the other day, I was like, I'm like a customer service, you know, just dealing with problems from people all
Just
day
complaints
long.
all day.
Yep. No, she's not on the show, but she was right over here singing us a song on the old YouTubes, you know. What's up, Dr. Elmo in the house? How you doing, Raj?
Dr. Elmo.
Yes, happy anniversary.
He didn't go to 4
anniversary.
years
Happy
of
New
Muppet
Year.
school to be called Mr. Elmo.
Yeah.
Or 8 years.
Happy New Year to you. Yep. Almost a month from Groundhog Day. Oh my gosh. Yep. It is happening. That's the hardest week for you every year, Aaron. I'm sorry. That's like when I'm relaxing. Yes. Okay. So we got to do the wheel, and then we're gonna bring our guest on. Did you send him a link to the Zoom?
Oh,
You
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I see it.
Oh,
okay,
I had the
yeah.
mug and I
Aw.
left it upstairs. I meant
That's
to bring
okay.
that down, but it's this. This is what we're going to give away. We're going to spin a wheel and we're going to give away.
Bring on the remaining pizza.
Hold
Sorry.
on.
Face-to-face customer service is parenting people you can't smack when they need it. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Derek also with some negative Bill's news. Fake
Negative
news.
Nancy. All right, let's go to the wheel.
All right. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm going to hit that.
Yeah, it looks weird.
That's okay.
Why does it look like that? Did they change something? Oh, it's
That's
because
what
it's
she
scrolled
said.
down. Okay.
Okay, it looks weird.
So yeah, we're going to give away one of those mugs to one of our sponsors at patreon.com/Liberty Late Night to say thank you for supporting us, encouraging us, and making us do this every single week.
We love it. We love you
Yeah,
guys. Thank you.
and we thank you for the support. And if you do want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/Liberty Late Night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this thing just scrolls for no reason. We'll lock that down. So let's see who wins this week. Oh, who's that?
Jamie Lynn, you made it. You're here.
We got 3 minutes. She's
Yeah.
doing good. Ooh, right there, Brian
Oh my
Daly.
gosh, Brian Daly. Awesome sauce. Brian, congratulations. You're going to get
Thank
the Patreon exclusive. I cannot talk today. I've been Minecrafting most of my day, so I haven't really talked to a lot of people except, my kids.
Have to save it right away, otherwise
Yeah.
I forget.
So congratulations to you. Dave sends them out in big batches, so, you'll get one.
It's a good counting song. Yeah.
So, all right, Jamie's here. We got to play the Jamie button. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me get back to the bar.
Sick of Christmas slackers. People need to get back to work.
Let's wait till this finishes.
Yeah, it is. It's a good counting song for sure. So, Carl doesn't have to work till next year. Dave doesn't have to work till next year. Yeah. I know. 4 away. So close, but not close. Not close enough. Yeah. Niners are playing tomorrow, and then Bills are playing on Monday Night Football. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Well, that's good, Carl. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so we got 2 minutes to spare, so I'm glad about that. That we actually
Yeah.
kept to our.
I know we talked about it in other places, but we got a VR headset. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. Actually, the kids been doing a lot of that, and we've been Minecrafting a lot.
It's fun. Yeah, like Dave started out this world, and they call it the Utopia, even though it's not the
It's a
Utopia.
desolate wasteland.
It's terrible.
Nothing but ice
Yeah.
as far as you can see.
2 minutes is a long time. It can be a long time. If we were to just sit here and be quiet,
Yeah.
it would be a really long time.
I can do that. Oh, real quick.
Celeste, hey.
Gotta say hi.
She's gonna kill me. Oh, Celeste. Oh, Celeste.
Make sure that's all off.
Your cat's laying on your hip.
Okay, we're gonna wait till everything
Yes.
connects, and then we'll bring you in.
Oh, that's Coneth. I know, but we did it anyway. We just bit the bullet and got the
You hear us?
Oculus. All right, I gotta check and see. Luke, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I can hear
All right,
you.
let me
Let's.
set
Dave's gonna
something
turn
up.
up your volume a little bit.
Bring you in.
Okay, and then he's gonna bring you in to the show, so everybody
Oh, I
can
missed
see you and hear you at the same time.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, that's good volume, Dave. Thank you.
All right.
right, go
So
ahead.
this week we got Luke Tatum. He's the founder of the Perfect Spiral Capital and author of a brand new book, Between the Lies: How to Reclaim Your Future from the Banks and Wall Street. And we're gonna figure out what that means.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Let me fix this.
I'm
here.
Mary.
Thank
You've
you,
been
thank you.
communicating mostly with
Yeah, I'm
Dave.
Dave.
Um,
I don't think I ever even said our
Awesome.
names. You just knew Liberty Late.
yeah. So, welcome to the show, and we just like to have fun
Thank
and
you very
hang
much.
out, super relaxed, laid back, very chill. Just so you know.
There it is.
So, okay, before we get into, Dave introduced you with, your business and your book and everything, but before we get into that, I know that I went to your site and I was, reading and stuff, and obviously with the book, I mean, you're interested in economics, financial stuff. How and when did that start for you?
Sure. Gosh. Well, I mean, I got into Austrian econ and all that thanks to Ron Paul. So it's been some time. We got, well, so I met my now wife, but then girlfriend, and we were interested in raw milk. She was interested in raw milk, and we went to a local farm and checked that out. And, didn't really know much about politics or anything at that time, really. But we started talking to the people at the farm. They had an event there. There was a farm to consumer legal defense fund table at this event that they put on. And it's super cool. Super, super interesting stuff. And they mentioned Ron Paul. Like, hey, do you know who Ron Paul is? Because he's the only guy that cares that, the FDA has guns.
Oh yeah. He's big on the raw milk too.
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that was such a big controversial topic, right? But we quickly kind of ramped up our knowledge on that stuff and got real involved there. And then, started going to like Ron Paul events and getting involved with his presidential run and some of those things. And so this was back, it's not his last run, but the second to last run for president.
All right.
Right?
Oh, was that 08?
So,
no, that was 12.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we got.
I believe
okay.
08. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And
08.
so.
Yeah.
So it was around then, and then he's mentioning books like The Law by Bastiat and things like that. Like, hey, you ought to read these books and learn some things. And I said, okay. So I start reading The Law by Bastiat. That's the first book that I started with, and then from there it was like, oh, now I'm on the Mises Institute for 6 hours a day, and now I'm listening to
slope.
Man, Economy and State on audiobook while I work, and stuff like that. So I got real far down that rabbit hole very, very quickly. And so, interest in economics and stuff for a long time. Finance, I would not have seen myself doing this as a job for like more than maybe 5 years, the last 5 years.
Okay. What was something you wanted to do before? Everybody as a kid has something they want to do. What was, one of your goals? Or what did you see yourself doing then?
Yeah, well, sure. I went to school briefly. Like, I'm a proud college dropout, so I went to college for 3 whole semesters. But I thought I was going to be a radio, television, and film guy because, like, I had made a little short movie for a college film festival when I was in high school, and I thought, oh, okay, cool. I'll get into directing, and I'll be a director, and that'll be so great. And so then I didn't want to do that anymore. And then I thought, I'll teach people how to write better because I'm a good writer. And so then I wanted to be an English professor. And then I found out that I hate academia.
Yeah.
So, just kind of changed things around. I worked retail. I used to deliver flowers. I ran the soundboard at a radio station at one point, just random stuff.
Yeah.
For a while, trying to find my place in life. And here we are.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and take your time too. I feel like that we have children and we homeschool, and our oldest is going to be 14 in May, and we've talked to all of them about college already. Our youngest is 8, so but it's like you don't have to go that route.
Unless you know exactly what you're going to do with it.
If you are going to be a doctor, you do need to go to college. That's important.
Yeah. You don't want to not comply with certain rules that you kind of need to, you don't want to be an illegal doctor and go to prison.
Just start cutting someone open. Well, I saw on YouTube.
Watched a couple videos.
Not quite like car maintenance.
Yeah, it's a great site, but not for surgery.
Right. I know Carl's going to jump in here, actually.
But that's what I want to tell them too. Like, you know what? Like, you can't like live in our house forever or anything, but like, take your time, like, as long as you're out there doing something, work somewhere, do something, or go to some kind of trade school or apprentice somebody, something like, but I'm not pushing the college thing. And I think it's great that, you kind of took your time and figured out, oh, I want to do this. Nope, I don't. Because I know I felt like what I picked to do, I wanted to do that. And then like 4 years after I was doing it full time, I was like, I kind of hate this now.
Paid a lot for this.
What do I do? And so I was
what
very
did you
nervous.
Use to do? I don't know the details.
Oh, that's
I was a massage therapist for our our hospital, and then I worked for a chiropractor's office. But then I just was kind of like, I've done enough. It's like, this is, I'm done. So
luckily you met a sugar daddy.
Yeah, my sugar daddy. But we've been together and married for years and years and years. So, but So, but I panicked because I didn't know what else, I wanted to do. So anyway, stay at home mom, homeschooling, we do this show. So it's a lot of fun, but, okay. So let's see, your interest in economics. Okay. But the finances, you didn't expect to see this for yourself. Now you started a company, Perfect Spiral Capital. Can you tell us about that and how, you used the word with the financial industry, you said, the cookie cutter advice, the way that everything was just the same. What prompted you to go out on your own versus staying, with a specific company, where you were working for someone else?
Yeah, I was with one of the big name companies, and I'm avoiding saying any company names.
Yeah.
Right? But I spent a little while there, and I got some additional licenses and things like that. Took my Series 6 and 63 and some of these other things. And so, I got kind of into the belly of that beast, so to speak, and learned, the literal lies that you have to memorize in order to pass the test.
Oh, wow.
For certain things, like about the Federal Reserve and stuff, because like the Fed exists to control inflation and things like that, right? And so it's just it's
they're
just
doing
a
a
little
terrible
bit
job. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, they're doing.
My gosh, I'm buying
Awful.
milk.
And those are hard too, right? Like it's not like an easy test, even if you are taking the blue pill and you're like all super into it. It's a lot of difficult material, But anyway, I was getting into all that, and so I was to the point where I could set up 401k companies plans, for their employees and things like that. And I just decided I didn't want to do those things because I was learning also kind of what some of these other things in finance really mean, and there's these certain sort of kind of true things that people toss around, but they're kind of not really true too. And it's like that's just the standard education that all financial people get in all of the big companies everywhere. And as far as I know, I mean, there's not exceptions to that, right? Like if you go into a Carl Schwab, they're basically teaching you the same thing as if you go into a any other insert
like
name
a
of financial advisory.
Sure.
Yeah, it's exactly. And so it's like, I don't know. It just got a little cringy, and then it went from cringy to like, I just don't think I can do this. I was still kind of running my own business in a sense, right? But I'm, at the end of the day, like whatever I said had to go through a marketing department, and a compliance department somewhere. And so like if I landed some sweet interview somewhere, what it would have to be is the entire thing would have to be pre-approved before I could go on the show, right? And I was like, I don't really know if that's what I want,
Yeah.
And so they call that a captive agency, like a captive company. You are a captive of your broker dealer, and so I just thought, I'm gonna just leave, And so I lost all of my income, really, all of my renewals on all of my clients' stuff that I have been working on for the last, few years and stuff like that, in order to set up this new company. But for me, like, it's worth it because I have a really, really low tolerance for like being told what to do.
Yeah.
And so,
Gosh.
I mean, and like when I went into all this, I had clear goals, and I was talking about this in the first interviews and stuff. Like this is kind of what I want to do. I want a podcast. I want to do these different things. Like I used to have a podcast, and so it's like I'm comfortable doing this stuff.
Yep.
And I just want to do it in this realm now. And they're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Sign here, And then like a year or so in, it's like, well, you actually can't do that. You've actually got to go through the compliance department and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. And it's just, the deal kind of kept changing a little bit more than I was. So I'm giving you a long rambly
Oh,
answer.
that's
No,
fun.
that's
No, this is
fine. No,
fun.
we
Interesting.
love hearing stories from
Also,
people.
I just found out Nays was not at a wake. He was at a bar.
Okay. Oh, well. Also, you'll see us like pointing and waving because we like point and wave to people or what, in the chat because we're live streaming and very interactive. So, but yeah, go ahead. We love stories. So I'm all in.
And I'm totally looking at y'all. Like I'm not looking at the chat.
Okay.
At all.
Oh, yes.
Don't read and ramble at the same time. I'm very one track.
Oh, yeah.
mind,
That's
I
good.
get derailed easily.
Yeah.
So if something cool is going on in the chat, like tell me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Because I know on the promo you said it was tonight because he always asks like, is that today, yesterday, last
Sean always,
week?
yeah.
And then he said he was at a wake, and I knew he's probably full of shit, but I didn't want to say anything because in case he wasn't.
Yeah. I
Right.
figured he wouldn't say he was if he actually was, you know.
They might.
Gibbs says you're doing great. That's our friend Lyle. He says you're doing
Oh
great,
well,
so.
thank you. But I mean, I guess just to round that story out, like I mean, for as an example, I guess of one of these things, and this is something that I made it a point to write about in the book. It's like all financial people are basically told because the stock market is going to return you all this money. If you just put your money in the stock market, you're just going to make all this money.
Yeah,
You're going to
that's
have
what I've been
all
riding
this, millions of dollars in retirement. It's going to be fine. Just trust your 401k plan, right?
Oh shit, you're gonna ruin this for me, aren't you?
Oh no. Well, we've
I'm doing this
looked
for
at
20
it.
years.
We've looked at the
I'll send
401k
you
every once in a
Oh,
while.
I don't like to look at it anymore.
It's very scary to look at it like.
But it's based on this assumption or these sets of assumptions, right? And it's like kind of don't look too closely at what's really going on in there. And a lot of people are familiar with some of the problems with 401ks, like the time limits on when you can access the money. There's required minimum distributions past a certain age. So you have to sell even when the market is down. Like there's all these other problems with the terms and conditions and things that nobody reads.
Oh,
But
I just click read it all.
then
excellent.
the big thing that really just stuck with me, and I ramble on this in the book because it irritated me all the time. People are always talking about how, well, you just put your money in the S&P 500 over any 30-year period, you're going to get like at least 10% per year. You're going to get an average rate of return of 10% per year.
That's what Dave Ramsey said.
And and he says like 12% in
that sounds kind
in total money makeover, and it's like, okay, man, whatever you say. But even if you're just going with 10 or even if you're going with 8, whatever percent, that you've heard floated around and stuff, like that is not true. It is not true. Mm-hmm. What is true, technically speaking, is that the average rate of return will be like 9 or 10%, okay, over any 30-year period. But average rate of return doesn't mean anything. So I have a chart in the book where it's like, okay, if you take $10,000 and you have a 100% return, and then you have a negative 50% return, and you just do that over and over and over, the average rate of return is 25%, and you have made $0, right? So what does that mean? It means nothing.
Wow.
You can do that for as many years as you want, and you will still have zero return, zero actual return, So, like, why is that the number that every brokerage website is required to show you, average rate of return? Because it's literally meaningless. So, that's just one little thing that really frustrated me because it's like, that is not helpful. What does that mean?
Yeah.
I can make up any rate of return and impress you and then take your money, right?
Sure.
And like, that's not ethical.
No, it's not.
So, yeah. So there's just one little snippet. I have one little subchapter, about that, kind of breaking down and providing an alternative. There is a calculation that is useful when you're analyzing an investment, but no one uses it. And so it just boggles my mind. And, I don't even sell stocks. Like, that's not even my thing. Mm-hmm. I don't like the stock market. We have one share of one mutual fund at this point, and everything else we've sold out of. I've sold all of retirement accounts and all that stuff. I do not participate. And so, like, it's not even something that I desire to get into,
So to me, that's terrifying.
But now,
certainly.
I get what you mean now when you said, are you ready to unlearn
Yeah.
everything that you were taught? You know, because this does sound like the polar opposite of everything
Yeah.
that, you
Just
know,
gonna
we
cash that
have
out.
been
What?
taught. So what's okay, your book, it's Between the Lies,
Yep.
How to Reclaim Your Future from the Banks and Wall Street. What moment did you decide, I'm going to write this, I need to write this? And what can people expect, you know, when they get it? But that defining moment where you were like, pen to paper, this is happening, or, you know, keyboard and computer and all that.
You know, I actually do. I have one of those remarkable tablets, and so I do actually handwrite a lot of my stuff.
I love
before
handwriting.
I type
I
it.
love,
I didn't know.
yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
I do. I love using a pencil.
It's twice the
on
work
paper.
because I write it 2 times. You know, I
That's okay,
write it
though.
and then I type it.
Yep.
But I do prefer doing that. I find that I think a little better with a pen in hand.
Yeah.
And so, but to answer your question though, it was early this year, and I had talked to someone who, you know, helps people self-publish, because I had thought, yeah, well, you know, I could write a book. I thought that multiple times. I've started fiction books many, many times. You know, I have tons of partial things that I've started all
Sure.
over the place in folders and on, you know, Dropbox and things like that. But then I thought, well, okay, what is a way that I can kind of put out there that I'm not just some like sleazy sales guy trying to do finance.
Yeah.
I'm trying to educate people with some stuff. And so that's, you know, this goes into the pricing of the book too. The Kindle version of the book is 99 cents.
I saw that.
I make
put the link up
35
there.
cents. That's it. You know, like, I don't care if you, you know, want to like get the information and you don't want to pay a bunch of money for it. It's not a, you know, $799 course that you can buy.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
It's literally $1, you know. That is, there's a paperback. Some people prefer a paperback. Like, I make a few dollars on the paperback, but the point is to make the information available, right?
That's great.
So you can, whether you want to work with me or whether you want to work with somebody else, you will get some information out of this. And so I thought, okay, that would be a good way to get a message out there, kind of boost my brand a little bit, and show that, you know, like, I'm not just trying to rip people off. Like,
Right.
here is, you know, the whole
thing.
thing that goes into like my company. Basically, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Here's the framework that I use to help people, you know, get away from banks and things like that. Because to me, it's only going halfway to say, like, okay, you shouldn't participate in the stock market, or okay, retirement accounts have some problems. Like, it's such a minor, you know, lightweight attack on the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It should be, you should pull the whole rug out from underneath the whole thing, and you should just state plainly what is true. And, you know, so it's pulling things from a few places. Like, it's not original thought by any means. It's just pulling things together. And so Becoming Your Own Banker by Nelson Nash is, it's a book that's been out for over 20 years now, but that is a book that I reread every year, and it talks about how you can leverage dividend paying whole life insurance instead of a bank. Like, as a place to save your money, you should store it inside of a life insurance policy or multiple life insurance policies. So that is a key component. And then, you know, beyond that, it's focusing on developing your passive income, get to a point where you can, you know, live from a situation of abundance, and you can fund good causes, and you can do good things with your life. Like, step 1 in that system, then I have a 5-step system in the book. So it's, you know, take responsibility. It's reclaim your money, which is the taking money out of banks and instead putting it in a private contract with a private company that keeps all the money all the time, and there's no fractional reserve involved. And then, you know, from there it gets into developing your passive income. And, you know, the last step in my system is to focus on educating other people, spreading the good information that you've mastered through all this, like becoming an actual investor and not just a spectator. That's an Andy Tanner quote, but in the book too. But if you're giving your money to someone else to invest, you're not an investor. You're a spectator. That's his quote.
Oh.
And so I love that. So like you should be actively involved in what your money is doing. You shouldn't be just hiring some random guy at Charles Schwab or whatever company, to pick stocks for you. Because I guarantee you, I can tell you what stocks they're going to pick.
Oh,
right.
I know exactly what stocks they're going to pick. They're going to pick this from the S&P 500. You could just do that yourself, and you would get the same results. and you still have all the problems that you didn't learn anything about, right? Because you just go, oh, the stock market is where people go to make money, and you just put money in there. And so I'm not casting shade on y'all. I'm not casting shade on anybody.
Oh, no.
I did the same thing. We've all done this, but at a certain point, certain things kind of fell into place in my brain, and I was like, this is just all wrong. This is all completely wrong, and I'm going to stop. And so here we are, living the completely non-standard life that everybody's like, are you crazy? And yes. The answer is yes.
But you kind of have to be, because just to be normal, then you're like the rest of everybody, just kind of following around, following everybody else and just doing the things that you're told. And now it kind of makes sense. I'm like,
because I went through a stint where I listened to a lot of Dave Ramsey, and I'm like, and he always like the whole life insurance is bad. It's a scam. You get your term until you can get enough saved up.
And he doesn't even talk about it, dude.
No, he just says that.
He doesn't even allow anybody to speak about that. He's like, you must be selling it, And so I'll tell you, like, I've been doing this since before I sold the stuff. I started selling it because it changed my life, and I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. I have to tell more people about this, And nobody would listen to me until I got some financial designations.
Yeah.
wow.
So it's just all the like kind of mind games involved with that. Like as soon as I start working for a company that sells financial products, and it's like, oh, now Luke knows what he's talking about. It's like, I've been giving you the same advice for 7 years.
I've been telling you the same
I'm giving you the same advice now.
What? Isn't that?
Now I have a business card that you respect or whatever.
Yes.
It's just really strange.
It is. It really, really is. Oh my gosh.
I like that, Lyle.
What's that?
Oh,
okay. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Let him know.
Okay. Yeah, that is okay. So this is really making my brain, because like
You're getting wrinkles.
I'm getting wrinkles right now in my brain, because the stuff that we are taught, and that we threw away a lot of the stuff that we, when we were statists, and we were just like, oh, when we learned about Ron Paul and
that's all
libertarianism, anarchism, all that. So now this is like a new thing for me to think about, like, take it in a totally different direction, because this is the opposite of everything. Everyone's like, get yourself a 401k, you need to go you need to see this guy. This is my guy. Go see my guy, give him the money and he'll do the things. And it's so opposite. So I'm very excited to learn more.
I'm going to throw Tim's question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sow dividends. How? I'm not even.
Okay.
And I don't understand any of this stuff, by the way, like at all. So I'm going to have to
I figured
read
you could
the book,
elaborate,
like,
even though I'm not sure exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Liberty Memes?
Sure. Yeah. Well, so that question, like, I could sit here and ramble, and when I'm talking to like a new client on the phone, the first thing I tell everybody, and I make it a point to say this, is please tell me to stop talking, because I will just go and go and go. Yeah. And so, I get really excited about this, even though I've had this conversation hundreds of times. I love talking about life insurance, even though it's probably the most boring thing on earth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it just is cool to me. It's cool how it works. But so the idea with this is that you're getting a policy with a mutually owned, or at least when you work with me, my company, the idea is you're getting a policy, a whole life insurance policy from a mutually owned life insurance company And so what does that mean? Well, a whole life policy means they're going to have to pay you someday. You will eventually either A, reach age 121,
Oh,
or B,
that's
die.
my plan.
Oh,
Um,
That's when I roll the bet.
if you are alive at age 121, they'll give you a check. You will receive the death benefit check while you are alive if you reach age
Oh, wow.
121.
Yeah, they're just done with you.
So, you either die and get the death benefit, or you live long enough that you get it anyway. So, like, they must have the money. It is kind of what the key insight there is. They have to prepare for the eventual fact that they are going to pay you, or your beneficiaries, in the case that you have passed away. And so, because there's a future payment, there's a present value to that payment, right? And that present value gets bigger as you get closer to your eventual probable demise. And so, I mean, that's the basic fundamental thing. That is what a whole life insurance policy is, right? But a mutual company means that you also, in addition to having life insurance, own the company. The policy is owned by people who own the policies that they sell. So when they are profitable, they pay a dividend. And when they pay a dividend, you are an owner, therefore you receive a dividend.
Is that something you
And
get, or
so
something that goes into your policy?
You get to choose.
Oh,
so you can receive the dividend as a check, if you want to. You can receive dividends tax-free up to your cost basis. So if you put in like $10,000, you can receive up to $10,000 in dividends tax-free, because it's considered a return of premium.
I like that.
I like tax-free.
So that's nice, right? But if you do it right, you can have all your gains tax-free too. And so that's kind of the whole idea. But, you can just receive checks from the life insurance company. I don't do that, because what I have my dividend do is buy more life insurance.
Yeah.
It accumulates more death benefit earns more dividends means I have a bigger pile, right? And so that cycle repeats. And these companies, I mean, they are like fundamentally where the money is, if you want to talk about like the economy. Okay, so like if you go get a car loan from Chevrolet Auto Finance or something, it is likely that what they are doing is taking a policy loan out against a life insurance policy, marking up the interest rate, and then lending it to you at a retail interest rate. So you're repaying their loan that they loaned from a life insurance
And
company.
then some, yeah.
Not in every case, but it's likely.
Wow.
So
I didn't think I'd find this fascinating.
is
I'm
a
very
thing.
happy. This is great.
Well, and we can talk about like video games and homeschooling and whatever
Yeah.
else y'all want to talk about.
No,
but
this
like,
is good.
if you get going, I'm
Yeah, you keep going. We'll get there
but-
eventually. And I mean,
That's what somebody
This
people
is
say. It's
great.
like if you're talking about something that you're passionate about, usually it's interesting even to other people who don't care.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
sure.
I do care because
so-
I've been at the same job for 20 years, and so I've been in the 401k and everything, and watching that go up and down, it's like a roller coaster. Excited,
Right.
bummed, not looking anymore. I figure eventually I can retire. I don't know.
I mean, while it's in there, man, it's not your money while it's in there, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what,
just numbers
what
on the
access do
screen.
you have that money? You have no access.
And now, and then in the chat, I was saying
So-
like I take loans against it every once in a while.
No, we did that once.
Yeah.
Once. I
And
can't
I
remember
don't do it
why.
anymore, but somebody said you can do that even with your life insurance policy. I thought that's pretty cool. You can take a loan against.
Right. So that's the idea. That's the idea with the tax-free access to the money, right? So with a 401k loan, or IRA,
Yeah.
whatever retirement account thing you have, if you're taking money out of the system, it's not compounding, right?
Yeah.
They're always talking about compounding and
That's
growth
the
in
important
the stock
thing,
market.
yeah.
Well, okay, that means that you can't touch it, right? If you touch it, then it can't compound because it's not there,
Right.
And so, and then really, it can't compound anyway because compounding requires uninterrupted growth. The stock market goes
Oh, it doesn't do that,
all over
yeah.
the place, and so it does not compound.
Son
So
of a bitch.
it does grow, but it doesn't compound.
Better late than never. Right?
I'm gonna go cry for a
It's
minute.
a usage of terms, man. it's this laziness when it comes to like the way that people talk about things. It's, this misuse of terms left and right. And so like that is not what compounding is. If you put money in a savings account and you never ever touch it, that is compounding because it pays a larger amount, based on the previous value. And so not what the stock market does. Yeah. It's not what, it doesn't do that. So interesting, but anyway. Yeah. And so a dividend paying, a properly designed dividend paying whole life insurance policy, I'm use this extremely long string of terms every time I talk about it. Because if I don't, someone will jump in and say like, well, you told me that this type of life insurance will do this. And not all policies will do that. It's very particular. I'm what's called a authorized IBC practitioner. The infinite banking concept is IBC. I saw briefly somebody mentioned Bob Murphy and stuff. He's on the Infinite Banking Institute board, and so that's like a whole thing. And there's not a whole lot of people that go through the process of like learning how to how to do this stuff properly and to understand all this stuff, because it's like it's back here behind me. I don't know if you can really see it, but that folder right there, the IBC manual, it's like 550 pages long, man. I mean, it's like a whole lot of material about how life insurance works.
My brain would be.
And, most people don't read all that stuff. And so it's just, you got to take a test and everything. But, so I'm not like endorsed by Bob Murphy, and I don't want to, say that I am or anything like that. They don't endorse practitioners, but it's just I've gone through a standard of training to be able to talk about that stuff. And so, but the idea, going all over the place here, the idea is
a fun ride.
You partially you partially own a company that in a lot of cases has paid a dividend consecutively for more years than the stock market has existed in the United States, 150 years in some cases, 160 years in some. Every single year. So all through the Great Depression, all through everything that's gone on, all the wars, everything. And it's because they actually have the money. They aren't banks. They aren't lending out money that doesn't exist. All of the money is always there.
Because they have to have it just in case.
And they're buying super conservative investments all the time. And they're extremely professionally experienced at doing that, at managing money for future payments to people who are passing away and things like that. And so, that is it's the most sound business model that there is, basically, right? And they are giving you an opportunity to become a part owner in that company by buying a life insurance policy, right? Which is a good thing to have anyway, if you have a family, which, I do. My son is 12. He'll be 12, I guess, in about 1 month. And so it's like, okay, I can own something I want to have anyway. I'm getting a whole life policy, so it's not going to expire right before I get enough to maybe die, right, which is what term does. And then I get to earn dividends. And so and I have access to actual compounding. So now, let me go back to the whole loan idea. You have a cash value, a value that you can access at any point, and they're contractually required to give you access to this money. If you cancel your policy, they will give you a check because it's the cash surrender value. It's, they have developed this asset for however long you've had the policy, and now you don't want the policy anymore. You're taking them off the hook for paying a future death benefit. So they'll say, okay, cool, here's your money. Now, that's probably less money than you put in, at least at the beginning. Yeah. But after a certain period of time, it's probably way more than you paid in because of the compounding of dividends, like if you're kind of implementing this correctly, right? And it depends. There are policies you can build, and if you have a lot of money just sitting around, you can get a lot of money built up in these policies pretty fast. It just, every situation is different. It's based on a insured person. So like people have different health situations. Some people have more total insurance that they can buy. There's all kinds of variables. But generally speaking, after a few years, you're going to have more money than you started with. And that just gets better and better and better. It literally gets better every single year that you have it because it's compounding. That's the thing with compounding.
That's what I've never heard about. Yeah, compounding.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. Just that they compound. Because I don't really understand how it works. Because like I said, I was listening to Dave Ramsey, so I felt like you do the term, you just pay a fee, and then if you die during that term, they give you whatever you bought. Right, like basically, like I said.
Well, so.
But with the whole life now, if I started with whole life, like today, and I got it all filled out and made a payment or whatever, and I died tomorrow, like do I just get what I paid, or they have a number that they're like, this is what you get, our bad.
Yeah, it's the death benefit that you purchased, right? So the rate of return, if you want to think of it that way, I mean. It's kind of perverse to think of a rate of return.
But the sooner I die, the better.
Right? Because you died. You can't get the money. Right. But your rate of return, so to speak, is very, very high if you make one payment and then die, right? Because I don't know, you've bought a $100,000 life insurance policy and you've paid, I don't know, $600. I'm completely making up math.
Yes,
I don't have any idea what the premium would be. You pay $600 and your beneficiaries receive $100,000. That's a pretty good deal, but not for you because you're not alive. So it's and there's people, there's like certain religious groups that really do not like life insurance and stuff because it's weird. There is an element of weirdness to that. It's like you're capitalizing on the fact that people die and stuff. And so, if you feel that way, that's certainly okay, right? But that's just what it is. That's what life insurance is. And so, but the cash surrender value is also very low. So if you make one payment and then say, I don't want this policy anymore, they're not going to give you very much back.
You're not going to
right? Because you didn't pay very much. It's kind of like buying a house versus like renting, so a term insurance policy, you can call that renting. You pay $1,000 a month to rent an apartment and you live there and you get to sort of use it, but you can't like renovate the whole place. Mm-hmm. And then you leave and you don't get to keep the apartment, right? You don't have any equity in the apartment. You just don't have access to it anymore. You stop paying and your money is gone effectively.
Right.
You have paid for services, not to own it. And if you buy a house, you pay over time if you're mortgaging or whatever. And then eventually pay it off. You have paid all of your premiums. Whole life is the same thing. You get to determine to some extent how long you want to pay for it. But say it's pay to age 75. Well, on your 75th birthday or on your 75th policy, the year of your 75th birthday on your policy anniversary, being super technical for no
that's fine. That's
then you make your last payment and you're done. And your policy will continue to earn dividends and do its thing as long as you still live. So, if you started with $100,000 death benefit, well, you earn dividends, it grows, you earn dividends, it grows. By the time you're 75, like you might have $750,000 worth of death benefit and access to almost all of that in the cash value, right? Because you've been piling money into this thing for that period of time. So it starts out like kind of a savings account where you don't quite have access to all the money. Yeah. You put $10,000 in, you've got like $6,500 available right out of the gate. And then eventually you've got a ton of money and you can use it for anything you want. So the policy loan is it's a contractually guaranteed thing where they will give you a loan for up to your cash surrender value at any time, and they have to.
Okay.
And
I was just about to ask that,
you can use it for anything. You literally like go to their website and type in how much money you want, and they will just send you the money. They'll put it in your bank or they'll mail you a check, whichever one you want. And there's no like, what are you using it for? There's no, when are you going to pay it back? There's no credit check. Like they literally don't care. And the reason they don't care is because if you die and you haven't paid back the loan, then they will go, oh, okay, you have a $100,000 death benefit. You have 50,000 in policy loans. So 100,000 minus 50,000 is 50,000. Here's the check for 50,000. It's just a subtraction problem. It's the easiest thing they could possibly do. And so like they don't care. It makes no difference to them because they are the thing that is being collateralized. It's like it doesn't matter.
Now,
so,
Gary wants to know
about
they, I'm sorry,
they get a rate of return
loan.
for it.
There's no tax deductible or taxation.
Oh, because it's a loan, it's not technically a taxable event.
Correct. Right. So
I didn't mean
it is a it's like a regular loan, just like a regular loan. So yeah, but the downside is if you go to the bank to get a loan, then they have all these strings attached, and loans are callable in a lot of cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a mortgage, a lot of mortgages are callable. So if the stock market tanks and the housing market and stuff like that, they can say, yeah, today's the due date. Sorry, because they need the money.
Oh, they need the we need this back.
It's like, bro, I need that 50 back.
Yeah.
Happened to a lot of people.
Wow,
in
I forget that that's a thing.
In 08 and stuff. Yep. Yep.
That'd be scary.
The loan from a life insurance policy is non-callable. So like it doesn't matter.
They
money. Can't do that to you.
I never looked at it that way. Life insurance, it was just I never looked at it from this way.
Yeah. This is actually helpful because I have been kind of like I should have more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, like I said, I listen to Dave Ramsey, so I'm like, okay, I just get term until I can fund myself and I'll have my millions of dollars in the bank. And
but will you?
But this is interesting. Now is your whole deal, like your book and everything, is it all about the life insurance, or is there other aspects of finance that you
no
touch? This is...
Yeah. I mean, it's really only towards the end do I even get into this, because I'm trying to. In the book, it's really two parts. It's the first half of the book, more than half of the book, is setting the stage and identifying these problems, right? Mm. So part one of the book is called Lies and Half-Truths, and these are the problems. These are the things that people are kind of misguiding you with. Here's the average annual rate of return garbage.
I was about to just buy the
how
book,
amortized mortgages work.
Dave's like reaching
Kindle,
for the...
I mean, any app on your device, man.
Yeah.
You can.
I've never done one of those
on
books
your
before.
desktop,
like, I
on your phone.
audiobooks, but yeah. But for $1, I mean,
the paperback will get to you eventually.
Yeah.
I like to hold a
book. Mary likes
I like holding a book. I like a real book in my hand, paper pages, like sniffing it and reading it.
So yeah, look at this.
Sorry, we just jumped into Dave's, he was like reaching over
and
like,
Mary's
do you want
like,
my
what do you
pencil?
want?
And he's like, no, I'm going to buy this book.
It's 99 cents.
Yeah.
That's
in
incredible.
Paperback, I would pay that because I like to hold a book. Yeah. I feel like this book would give me value.
I just and when I looked up that link for you,
thank y'all.
I tried. I lost where I. Damn it! Oh, there it is. Okay. Nope, that's not the one. That's the clock. It's down here. I lost our guest.
There we go. He's back.
So, when I looked up that link, I'm like, oh shit! Does he not want me to do the Amazon link? Does he have a better link for this, or do you prefer Amazon, or do you have another distribution?
No, actually, it's through the Amazon publishing platform. Like, I have a separate website for it. It's betweenthelliesbook.com. If people just want to go there, like, there's a video of me, but you've already seen plenty of video of me at this point if you're watching. So there's really no point in that. You can just go there and they will, if you order a paperback, they actually print the book themselves and send it to you. So I don't have to warehouse books.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I have to do this for my
so awesome.
We have to. Oh,
damn it! Dumb shit, David.
Okay, there we go.
To play a button.
Anytime I mess up, I have to.
If Dave messes up, he has to. I have a question. And I'm sorry that you were doing a thing and then you wanted to just run and buy the book real quick, but what would be some good advice for my children? We were talking about this the other day when we were driving, and how can they start now? and of course the first words, out of my mouth were like, well, when you get a job, get a 401k, and I was like, but you can start saving in some kind of way, but that's putting it in a bank. So for kids who are, like 13, 9, and 8, what can they do right now for themselves?
Do they start a life insurance?
Can they do something, or is there like a tip or a trick for them at least right now? And then
Oh, you're trying to get financial advice now.
Before I answer,
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No. You're good. You're good. Before I answer the question, though, betweenthelies.com, you need to add the word book. So it's betweenthelliesbook.com.
Okay.
I clicked it and I'm like, this
I was
domain
unwilling
is
to
for sale
pay
for $3,000.
Right.
Okay, Between the Lies book.
Yeah.
All right, Dave's going to retype that.
Book.com.
Okay, Between the Lies.
That was our.
I emailed them offering. I offered a lower price for that domain, and they reduced it by like $50. I said, that's okay. I'll just add the word book,
Yeah.
$3,700.
Keep that.
I'm selling the book for 99 cents. You're not getting $7.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks, Aaron. Aaron's our awesome mod. Thank you.
That's the one.
Thank you,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
Okay. For kids, so this is something actually that I find myself talking about a lot. So I'm glad that you asked. It's often a question like from grandparents, even like as a gift, because I had an uncle that when I was really, really young, he put some money in some CDs at the bank, and back then interest rates were a little higher, and so we'd keep buying new CDs, and then it was like, oh, cool, you're an adult and you can have the money in these CDs and do whatever you need to do as a 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back when they were worth something.
It's a thing. Yeah. You can still buy it. Yeah.
They don't charge you for them yet.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, and I'm gonna stop myself. That'd be a whole thing. But they're same thing. They're doing the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's just, and banks own a ton of life insurance. Tens of billions of dollars of life insurance is owned by banks. And so they make this rate of return, and they do this all the time. And they buy these policies on key executives and all this. But it's just, it's helpful to think about, and I mentioned, becoming your own banker earlier. It's helpful to think about it like this, where, there's actors in a play, and one of the actors in a play about money is the shareholders. And the bank shareholders are earning an excellent rate of return with your money. Every single time you give it to them. You just don't get those sweet profits, right? You get this like 1.2% rate of return or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's your awesome CD rate today. And then you're supposed to feel good about that. Meanwhile, like they're literally inventing 90 cents for every dollar and, all this other stuff. So it's bad, and I'll stop myself there.
Like I know a little bit. Like I remember when I owned CDs when I was a teenager, and they made money. I'd leave it in there for a year or something. Mm-hmm. But like now, Svolse here says CDs are great if you like to deposit money but not be able to touch it, because that's pretty much all it does now.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a 401k, right?
Yeah, you lose a little less.
This is for retirement, not for me to ever use. Yeah, but. Okay, for kids. So kid policies are interesting. You have to kind of build them a little bit differently when it comes to like structure, the way that I'm designing a policy. But you can insure a 6-month-old baby, and it's extremely cheap to do that because
I have that
they have the rest of their life,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I can insure my kids
I
right now.
forgot that they.
And
yeah,
so
that they
like
could
that's
get
a great. You used to see like things from Gerber Life Insurance Company, right? The Gerber baby, and all this. And
you get those in the mail when you have a baby.
That's a whole life policy.
Oh, it's a whole. Yeah, it is a whole life. I remember saying that.
And people buy them.
So
but I didn't understand
is that a
it.
good thing? You think the Gerber thing?
Well, I mean, Gerber is not like a mutual company. And they don't have like some of these other features. I'm not even sure, and I'm not an expert on Gerber, by any means, but I'm not sure if they have the policy loan provisions and all this stuff. But you could do that, or you could just go to company that's like kind of specialized in this, and
Yeah.
you could get a policy that's built like the regular way. And it might be slightly more expensive, but you're probably going to
You get
have
benefits, yeah.
a little bit better performance on it too.
What should we look for
So
in?
but
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead. I know there's a slight delay. You go ahead.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting you guys
No,
off all the
no,
time.
it's fine. It's totally
But
fine.
the well, I guess the thing to say is they've got a longer time horizon, right? So they've got a very, very, very long time for something to compound, probably,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the life expectancy of someone who has no health problems, who is just born, has no health history, is assumed to be pretty good, right? And that's one of the great advantages of starting policies on a very young child, or just a child in general, is they haven't had anything really crop up in their lives
Yeah.
in most cases. It's very, very easy to get a policy. They don't have to go get blood work. They're not going to do this extensive prescription drug check to see like what drugs they're taking. Like if they're,
Yeah.
if it's a 2-year-old, like there's just nothing there. And so that's good. That's a great thing. You get a lot of advantages there, in addition to the price just being cheap because they have a much longer period to pay it. But in other senses, it's pretty similar. And then, but as far as you like as parents or any parents, okay, what does that mean? Am I taking out an insurance policy on my kids? Isn't that weird?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but
No, I mean, if they die, you got to
the whole
bury them,
thing
and
is
that's
weird,
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and burials get more expensive every year, right? But you can. There's an owner. There's one owner, or if it's a community property estate, like both people are considered to be the owner of the policy, and that's the parents. The kids, a 2-year-old cannot legally own a whole life insurance contract, and so you're the owner. But when they're older, when you feel that they're financially ready to accept the responsibility of it, you can transfer the ownership to them. And you can say, hey, I've been building up this money for 18 years or 25 years or 10 years or whatever the length of time is. I'd like you to have it. And you can let them take over the premium payments, or you can keep making the premium payments, or you can split it, or whatever you want to do to kind of do that. But that's an awesome way to kind of develop a regular saving behavior, right? I mean, a la Dave Ramsey. And I love Dave Ramsey. He's done very, very, very good things for people, encouraging them to not take on huge mountains of debt,
Yeah, he helped
get
me
out
a
of the
lot.
mountains of debt that they're already. Yeah. I mean, we paid off our first mortgage, using Dave's stuff, and so I'm a big believer in that. But my position, that I take in the book and in conversations for my business is like he really only went halfway. It's like, okay, yes, you should get out of those debt arrangements, but you're also kind of like taking a hit here by just paying cash for everything because you're giving up the opportunity to earn interest on your money. You are, saving up money and then spending to zero or near zero, right? Like you save up and spend, and then you save up and spend. It kind of makes this boxy graph. And so whenever you buy something big, you are broke, is basically what is happening. This is a way to spend cash, like effectively you're spending cash. You go to a car dealership, you give them just a pile of cash or cashier's check or whatever to buy a car, but you can repay the policy loan over whatever period you want. So you have also finance. I tell people, you're paying cash and financing a large purchase. And so you get to decide to what extent you want to spread that out and to what interest load you want to take on. Basically, just it's empowering you to make the decisions on how you want to arrange your financial affairs, but not locking you into this like, well, I've got to sit here and save up cash in envelopes thing.
Yeah, I never did that. No.
It works very well.
Now, okay, we might have already covered this, but now you just said that, like, I take a loan against my policy, my compounding continues like I didn't.
So, okay, yes and no.
Okay.
No, if you're with a direct recognition company, there
Okay.
are two kinds. There's
okay.
direct and non-direct. What you want, or what I counsel people to seek, is a non-direct recognition company. I know that there is a word indirect, and it feels like you should say indirect
But you have to
here,
say the
but
right
that's
word.
not
Yeah.
the term
Okay.
for some reason. It's non-direct, okay? And non-direct recognition means that they do not recognize if you have a loan outstanding. So therefore, they pay the same dividend. You will earn the same dividend no matter how many policy loans you take out or how long they stay out.
But you're probably going to pay a
Direct
little more
recognition means that they, well, I mean, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, you could sit there and really
there's
grind
no
out
option.
some quotes to make them totally equal.
for
But
that. My goodness.
in most cases, like whole life insurance costs what whole life insurance costs. It's not. If you're extremely unhealthy, the price of your whole life policy will go up a little bit because they still have to pay you. It's just like you might die a few years younger, if that makes sense, right? It's not that you aren't going to die if you're really healthy. It's just that you're going to die maybe a little later. And so the premium difference is very slight between like a excellent, amazing health person and somebody who's got, high cholesterol and a few other problems. Whereas like with a term insurance policy, if you're a smoker, your premium is probably going to just double, just outright from standard to tobacco. And then, could get worse from there.
That makes me so mad because
because
I don't smoke.
The whole assumption of term.
We don't smoke, but she vapes. I do these little nicotine pouches, but they take blood work. I smoke. It makes me so mad. It's different.
Right.
It's not the same thing. It's not a cigarette.
It's not. I mean, and different companies have slightly different rules with some of that stuff, but it's just like they are looking at it from a mortality risk standpoint.
Yeah, they're using graphs and charts.
That term insurance is very cheap for most people. I mean, that makes perfect sense because you're probably not going to die while you have it, right? So it's an easy thing for them to sell you. You're going to live. I mean, 1 or 2 people a year out of their batch of 1,000 people is going to pass away, right? And so, it's fine. But whole life, 100% of the people who have it are going to die or surrender their policy or get to age 121. Every single person. It's just a different accounting fact.
This is so interesting.
I know. we didn't.
Oh my
we were like,
gosh.
what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah,
Money?
well, I had some questions written down here just because I wanted to make
that's
sure,
why I said,
like,
we'll see what happens.
But also super excited to hear that you started out with Ron Paul because that's how we also started out
Cool.
on our and the slippery slope. I tell you what, Dave.
I went straight to anarchist like rocket
I had
speed.
a lot of questions, But no, this is okay. So one more question about this, and then I don't know how much time you have, but I'd love to just ask you some other questions, just because we like to get to know people a little bit more. But if you don't have time, it's okay.
Yeah, we didn't really decide.
Yeah.
No, I'll go a little longer.
Okay.
We're early to bed, early to rise types.
Okay.
Like, we have our little homestead thing going on.
Oh,
and,
I don't even know what
our chickens are going to start
time zone.
growing at like 5 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. All right.
We're in Central Time, so it is 9:44.
Oh, you're one of those
Central
people.
Time.
That's okay.
We have people here.
it's a running gag with us.
'Cause we're Eastern,
We're
yeah.
in God's time here in New York area.
Yeah, but they everyone else,
The
they
center
have
of the
their own.
universe.
So I won't keep you, but I'm going to ask now. You might have answered this, but because I don't know all the words, in looking for a life insurance company, what are some key things to look for? Like, what is it that you want to know that's a good one to choose? Like, what is it?
Well, okay, and I'm going to answer this first by saying that there are literally laws that I can't disparage any particular company.
Okay.
So, since the public forum or whatever, it's not a one-on-one conversation.
It's fine.
I'm gonna.
Yep.
keep it nice on the level.
Yeah.
But the
Are there
something that
keywords?
I look for is, well, it's a company that is mutual,
Okay.
right? Mutual is better than non-mutual. Um, non-direct recognition is very, very good when it comes to if you're trying to do what I'm describing here. And you want an insurance agent that understands what that means too. That's like,
Okay.
That's a key there. Yeah.
that's because a lot of people don't. Like people that work at the insurance companies don't know what it means, and people that, it's again, I'm going to rein myself in, but that is that's better. Non-direct recognition is better than direct recognition, in my opinion. There are a million people on the internet that'll be happy to tell you that there's plenty of reasons you should use a direct recognition company, and like I'm not saying you can't. It's just that other things being equal, ceteris paribus, yeah, I would go with the non-direct if you can.
Okay.
And then a company that sells whole life and actually focuses on that product somewhat is a good marker of overall financial health, because a lot of what is sold now is universal life. Universal life was invented in the 80s, and the company that invented it was involved in this very large scandal where they were embezzling funds and all this stuff, and they went out of business. And then people took that and developed permutations of universal life, and it still persists to this day. But it is like universal life is essentially whole life, where they took the cash value component and the investment component and separated them, and they made it two different pieces of this larger policy. And for a number of reasons, I disagree with anyone buying universal life, basically in almost every case. I mean, it's not to say that there's zero use cases for UL, but like I used to own a UL policy once upon a time, because it can be a cheap way to sort of have a sort of a term policy, but it's sold often as a comparable thing to whole life. But what happens is, and this will be somewhat technical, you have a cost of having insurance, right? It's going to go up every year. If you think of it as a term insurance policy that's 1 year long, your 1 year term insurance policy gets a lot more expensive the older you get. If you imagine trying to buy life insurance, like a term policy as an 80-year-old or an 85-year-old, first of all, they won't even sell you a policy at 85, but it's going to be astronomically expensive. And so the cost of the insurance is going up and up and up and up. And they have this like investment component, and it makes it's supposed to take all of the remaining money after all of the expenses are settled, and then they're going to give you a rate of return. And so in theory, what will be shown to you on a life insurance illustration is that your cash value is growing and growing, and you will be able to have this policy until you probably die. But what actually happens for people is that late in life, if they are living a long time, they have a cost of insurance that is too high. And so the policy cannibalizes itself. And then they'll get a call from their agent or from the company. And they're like, well, you can keep this policy if you still want it, but it's going to be, $45,000 or whatever. And so it's bad, right? And there's permutations of UL where the investment component is stock market based, and they'll call this like indexed universal life or IUL, and then there's variable universal life or VUL, and there's a bunch of these variations. There's GUL stuff. Wow. And that's fine, except the illustration they're showing you on the IUL and the VUL are assuming that the stock market is going up every year. And so what if the stock market doesn't and your cost of insurance is high? Well, guess what? It falls apart, So this is like, and there's books that I just, I will get very upset if we start talking about. Like there's a book called IUL. And IUL now is about how everybody just needs to dump all their money into indexed universal life because it's the greatest investment vehicle ever, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like basically she's trying to say you should do infinite banking, being able to take loans out against your policy and all this stuff, except that if you actually do that, you are going to end up breaking the policy late in life when you actually want to have life insurance. And you're going to end up in a whole lot of trouble that you're not going to know how to solve because they didn't bother to teach you any of this stuff before you bought it.
Right.
And so I didn't even get into this really in my book because I didn't want to write like a, 500-page treatise. It's just supposed to be like the minimum amount of econ that you have to know in order to get the pieces, in place in your brain. Because I find that a lot of people tend to go way overboard, and it's like nobody cares what the net present value calculation that a life insurance company does is. Nobody cares except maybe an overly ambitious life insurance salesperson, but even then it's like they only care so they can like it's just they're only trying to make a sale, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm condemning my own profession a little bit here, but it just drives me crazy. And so I just I don't know if I was successful, but I tried to make it as simple as possible. And so far I'm getting really good feedback on it, and that makes me very happy.
That's great. Aaron just put the link in the comments, so y'all head over there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Before we move on from this, I just want to say, so you do sell this stuff, and I can contact you in the future because I like you, and I feel like I trust you, and I'd like to learn more maybe. And I do need to look at life insurance because I'm 43 or whatever, and I should probably have already done it. But
we're procrastinators.
But I got heart medication. I'm afraid of what I have to do.
No, blood pressure, Dave. Blood pressure.
Same thing.
Okay.
It's just baby dose, but I'm sure they don't
look.
care.
You're fine. You're totally fine. Just abstract terms here, like life insurance premiums. Way over here when you're born, they get a little bit more expensive and a little bit, and I guess I'm being mirrored on the other side, so this is going to look really bad.
That's fine.
They get a little bit at a time, and then you turn like 55 and they start to do this, and you're 65 and start to curve up, and then it's like you can't afford it.
So I need to get on this.
That's the
okay.
Sometime in the next 5 to 10 years would be really ideal if you want to have a policy, because
we should do it this year because it's almost a new year.
The price gets dumb.
Make that one of our goals for the year.
and Con says which link is the best to ensure your greatest cut of purchase.
Yes. So which
you
link?
Said it's all through Amazon. All your
which
publishing.
Which link is what's going to be best for you to get a profit?
Oh, yeah. There is only one channel to buy through. So the Kindle, like I say, I make 35 cents on a $1 book.
The
paperback, I'll
put it
make
on your
a little
shelf.
bit
Look
more,
smart.
but please don't consider that when you're making a purchase. If you want a paper book, awesome. Please get the paperback. I'm happy with how it's turned out as far as I know. I still haven't gotten my author copies because I don't get Prime shipping for myself for some reason. Authors have to wait for like regular mail. So
that's hilarious.
Mid-January, I'll get copies of my own book, and everyone else will already have them.
Oh,
that's fine. And
that's Amazon. Yep.
When I have one, you'll know because it'll be back there.
It'll be back.
Just a whole stack of like, what about Bob? This book right here. One of 20.
Oh my gosh.
Abilia.
This has been so much fun.
This is and very informative.
Informative. Like really just spun
we didn't know what we were
around,
getting into.
I was nervous because I'm like, I don't really know a lot about this stuff, but like the way you talk, I was able to follow along, and you answered questions, and really great, made me.
I'm excited about life insurance.
Yes, I'm just like, we've just been brainwashed with the.
Oh yeah, and Aaron says if, you have Prime,
make
sure you subscribe on Twitch.
Oh,
there.
Thank you.
if you, I like libertarians, anarchists, ANCAVs, voluntarists, like all of us folks that kind of affiliate under that same set of banners. I know it's herding cats. We all have our own thing
yeah.
we want to call ourselves, but
Murder
Yeah.
each other.
all those types of people, like any day of the week, man, it's like, okay, do you trust the government when it comes to, creating money? Nope, don't trust them there. Do you trust the government when it comes to foreign policy? Nope, definitely don't trust that. Do you trust them when it comes to this? You just name everything you can possibly come up with. No, we don't trust them.
Yeah.
And then it's like tax qualified retirement plans that the government came up with. Yes, let's do that. Yes.
See,
That's your best selling point
that's
in this
the words.
group right here.
Those are the words. I couldn't figure. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's the.
I'm like, I'm beating the system. I got Roth. I'm like, dude, I'm not paying taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they didn't come up with the Roth IRA.
Yeah.
And then sell it to you as ideal tax shelter thing
Bro,
that you should use. Like,
Hi, Alex.
I
thank
mean,
you.
come on. It's funny. It's funny
Yeah.
to me.
Oh no, it's
It is
so
not,
true.
I'm not like complaining about people, talk about this stuff. It's just most people have not actually looked into it. They just go, oh, okay, cool. The employer's
Yeah.
matching my contributions, therefore I must end up with this
Yeah.
huge pile of money.
Yep. And
Right?
that's one of the things I
and
said too to the
well,
kids. I'm like, well, your company will match to a certain point, and you just feel like, but you're so right, because who created this? Who
Yeah.
made it? Who started it?
My gosh.
Oh my
the
gosh.
final piece of the puzzle's falling.
It's like the other shoe.
Yeah, because that was it. It was like you get in the 401k as soon as you
Yeah.
can, because then you can start compounding and you'll be ready to retire, and then your
Yeah.
outlook's looking sunny because the little white website tells me my outlook looks sunny.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to say thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Oh,
Boy.
thank you.
I really
I appreciate
wanna, well, thank you, Luke, for being here. I don't know. I feel like it's
You
like
said
I want
video games. Are you
I
into
want to
video
like
games?
ask you some questions, but I feel also like this
taking over.
is so Dave's taken over.
Because you said we could talk
I
about
don't
video.
I don't have to I don't have to go anywhere right
Alright.
now or anything. Like my
Okay.
Are you a
So
gamer?
yeah, let's
my
talk about.
family is fine.
Oh, good, good. Well, let's
ahead.
talk about games then. Like, I want to know. Do you love video games? Do you like video games? Do you like board games? Let's talk about
Well, he
games.
said video games.
I know
That's
he
all
said
wanna
video
know.
games, but I had to write down board games because I like board games.
I do like board games. I love video games. I like to tell people that if there's like one thing that I probably know more about than any other thing in the world, it's video games. And like maybe that's a good thing, maybe not, but it's true. I've been playing video games, since forever,
Yeah.
and I've been doing it. So I spent
what
a
do you
whole
play?
lot of
Yeah.
hours, especially when I was a kid.
What's your
What are you playing now?
Yeah,
gosh.
what are you playing right now? Because I'm sure there's a lot of different games.
Right now, I just wrapped up a game that came out in 2018 called Judgment.
Oh,
Judgment is a narrative focused game. I'm all about narrative and stuff. I consider games to be an art form, and it's a unique way to deliver a story, right? I'll
Oh.
play multiplayer games with people. I like doing that. I used to play StarCraft competitively back in the day when I was 10 years old, and that was a very, very fun thing. But nowadays, like, I don't. We're out here in the Ozarks, with satellite internet. That's probably why there's a little bit of a delay,
It's not
Oh,
doing
and
that's
bad.
fine. No, it's great.
like it's Starlink and it's good internet, but it's like there is a delay and it's not ideal when you want to play like some ultra competitive game.
Oh,
So,
true.
whatever. I'll play my single player games and I'm happy with that. So, Judgment is an awesome game, and I just it's so cool because it's this kind of conspiracy laden thing. You're a detective, and you it's set in Japan, and you're investigating this string of serial murders that's been happening in this suburb of Tokyo and all this interesting stuff. And well, it ends up tying into corruption from the Ministry of Health in Tokyo, and there's this like development of this new drug, and they're all involved with it. It's very, very cool. And so I just wrapped that up. That was a fun experience, and should definitely check that out if you're into stuff like that. It's also kind of an action adventure, which is weird because a lot of detective stuff is just like a visual novel. It's like just push A and go to the next screen kind of a thing. This is a
story.
Like you're fighting street thugs, so it's
That
kind
might
of fun.
be something I would like for me, because I like that kind of stuff. That'd be fun.
What do you play?
Minecraft.
Yeah, we've been Minecraft a lot. Do you Minecraft at all?
Lots of Minecraft.
I do. I get on Minecraft kicks, and I'll play that like exclusively for a month or something, and then I'm like, okay, and then I move on.
Yeah, because Aaron asked, does he want a link to the LLN Minecraft server?
Yeah.
We actually have Minecraft server.
Minecraft server.
Okay. I would love a link to the Minecraft server. I will probably pop in there like once occasionally, randomly, and no one will ever communicate with.
Yeah, and nobody would probably be there. Every once in a while, people pop.
That's how it's kind of everybody pops in every once in a while, and
just
like
pranks
and
somebody else.
We're on a Minecraft kick right now because Dave's on vacation.
Yeah, I've been on vacation for like 2 weeks, so I put in like 6-7 hours of Minecraft today.
So yeah, I was like, I'm going in the mines, y'all.
And also we got VR for Christmas, so we got the Meta thing, because it's the cheapest one, because obviously I'm the product, and
right. Right.
But we got to walk on the plank and play super hot, and so the
Yeah.
kids are doing a lot of that. I like that Beat Saber.
Beat Saber's fun.
That's a lot of fun.
Good workout.
And I like that with the VR is that the kids are actually
I
standing
need
up
to check
and
out
swinging
Beat
their
Saber.
arms.
Yeah, they're like up and moving and getting all sweaty, and they're like, it's your turn. You gotta like it's like you're at a gym.
Yeah,
You gotta like
clean off
wipe
your
off your equipment. Like,
But yeah, the kids are waking up sore.
It's like DDR. Did y'all ever play DDR?
DDR. Sounds
that
familiar.
feels very
Dance
familiar.
Dance. Dance
Oh
Dance
no,
Revolution.
oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried it like
yeah.
once or twice, and
I'll do like Guitar Hero.
I
That's
really-
the most.
I need to have that in my home so I can play it and not be out in the arcade
No, you're
trying
not
it
gonna
out
go-
for
you're
the
not-
first
no,
few times.
You're gonna get
'cause-
judged at the arcade.
Oh yeah, I was like, I was wearing the wrong shoes. I was holding
Yeah.
my purse.
blame
my daughter
everything,
was
Mary.
next to me. I'm like, this is not working out. Everything's just. Minecraft though is fun. It's fun.
It's
We
the whole
like
thing.
Halo though too. But yeah, the
we
Beat
Halo'd a
Saber,
lot, too, yeah.
Beat Saber, and I would like the Dance Dance Revolution because that'd be a good workout, Dave. I love music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we spent a lot of money on music on
Yeah.
that stupid
Yeah.
game.
I love music too.
yeah. Well, okay. So what is what's your type of music? What do you like to listen to?
Oh gosh, that's another thing. Like I'm a little bit in every genre kind of a guy, So
Sames.
I could go on a whole kick again for like a particular thing for a month or 2 months or 3 months either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yep.
then it'll be like, yeah, I'm kind of done with that for a while.
Yep.
That's what I do,
And
like
then
metal,
just
punk
jump
rock,
into something
hip hop.
else. So,
No, that's good. I like that.
I-
It's fun to have an interest in all of it and see, because people are like, oh, you like that or you like that, and it's like, but you don't understand, like
Yeah, expand yourself a little.
these people are putting their heart and soul into it, and some of it can be really really good. So
That right there.
Um,
It's like Legos. Minecraft's like,
I'll throw
like
you.
virtual Legos.
I'll throw you another link.
oh
real
yeah.
quick. You can drop in there freedomsong365.com. And that is a project from a few years ago. 3 libertarian podcasters, including me, we did write-ups about a song with a liberty-oriented message every single day for an entire calendar year.
Oh, nice.
And so that was a enormous undertaking, and we wrote many tens of thousands of words.
I
that
like the
year.
picture there. It looks like a hardcore
yeah,
show.
that's great. So you are, musically
Oh, that's a
inclined
nice
like
site.
that. It is. It's
Oh,
Sherry.
Sherry.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yep.
So, do you play instruments or instrument? Do you sing? Like what? Or just the writing of the lyrics? Are you into
I used
creating
to.
music?
No. So I like in high school. I was on the drum line and stuff. I was the section leader of my drum line, and so I'm a drummer.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But
I always have to
it's-
show this off just to ruin
So
everything.
I'm
He's got to pull the green
we got-
screen away. So
We got a drum set back here.
nice. Very nice. Yep. Love it.
Break that third wall there.
yeah.
See, I haven't actually played. I haven't actually played in like a long time, and so I eventually was just like, let's just get rid of the drum set because we didn't have a place to set it up for the
It's a
longest
lot of
time.
space,
and,
yeah.
It is.
we live in a valley in the mountains, right? And so like everybody out here really loves their peace and quiet, and I would have to like construct a separate thing with like hardcore soundproofing
Yeah.
in order to not have it on the whole valley and annoy everyone. And so I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna move on. I might buy a digital set or something at some point, just so I can.
Yeah.
Because I still do. I mean, I'm an expert at playing on my steering wheel in the car.
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that, but, and here, like on my desk, my desk while I'm working, because a lot of what I have to do is just think through and kind of like wait for things to load and all that. So I'm, tapping away on my desk and try to keep my chops up. I have practice pads and things in the house, but it's
nice.
like, do I play? No, I haven't played in years. I would love to, but it just I don't have any room in my life for that, really.
Yeah.
I dig it,
Yes. So movies.
I'm
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Let me ask just about movies, TV, real quick, and then I'll get to your question.
Okay.
Are you like hooked on any kind
Are you
of
a
like
cinephile?
like binge watching certain TV shows or movies that like are you up to date? We are not up to date on any.
No, we don't have
we are
time for
very we always watch the old stuff and then we eventually
We watch
catch
YouTube
up.
videos and then we
Catch up.
do everything
Yeah.
else, yeah.
So are you doing do you like do series or any movies that have come out that you like?
I mean, barely. It's not that I don't watch anything, I guess, but I tried to give the new Star Wars movies a shot because, like, my name is Luke. My middle name is Harrison.
Oh my
Harrison
gosh.
Ford.
Also,
And then
are you related to Channing?
Son,
No, you can't ask that question.
no.
I told Dave
But
not to ask that
my
question.
son's name is Han.
Oh,
and
no
so,
shit.
It's just like it's
All
it's like a
right.
whole thing,
Yeah,
and we're sports people, but despite all attempts, like I just can't really care about that new stuff. So
Some of the new stuff is hard. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's not necessarily the shows, like Rogue One was good and stuff, but the mainline movies are just like I just can't handle this. So there's that. Other than that, though, like I don't care about the Marvel movies, so like those come and go all the time. And like I don't know what's going on. I don't care about what's going on. So very, very minimally involved with that sort of thing. Same thing with TV. You see those posts that go around on social media, like, put an X in the box next to all these shows that you've watched, and how many did you count up? My score is like one for Seinfeld,
Seinfeld. Oh, yes.
It's been a minute.
No, that's a good one to watch, though.
Futurama is good, but
Yes, that is also a good one. Yep.
Did you like Rick and Morty? You check out Rick and Morty?
I have never seen any Rick and Morty. I'm sorry.
No,
It's
don't be
it's
sorry.
vulgar but pretty cerebral. It's fun. We like it a lot, but to each its own.
Yeah, it might be too much. It's a little.
But it's fun because it's smart, but it's stupid.
Yeah, it is smart, but yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
That as far as like games and shows and stuff, like the Witcher was cool. At least the first season I enjoyed quite a bit.
Love that.
And even though it was all very strangely directed with the way that they ordered the material and stuff, like I love the novels, I love the game.
Oh, you came in
so
deep. Okay,
that was cool. I love the Witcher stuff. Absolutely love it. And so that was pretty fun. A rare win on the Netflix side, right? Because Netflix just typically tends to absolutely butcher things. So that was exciting. And then
Well, they're gonna butcher it now because
another Netflix show. Well, right. Yeah, it's so I completely jumped ship on that. I don't think I'll even watch 3. I don't think I'll
I'm gonna have to look at it.
participate.
I'm gonna have to look at it.
Go ahead, Luke. You were saying.
No, it's okay. The what is the cyberpunk show that they did?
I heard
Cyberpunk
people talking about
was-
that. Yeah.
Oh.
It was. I mean, you've got to be like okay with some pretty gruesome, intense stuff. Like, it's definitely not not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that show. It was very well directed, and like the soundtrack is absolutely spectacular. A lot of it is music from the game, but everything that they brought in to augment that is great. I mean, the credit sequence is awesome. I could just watch it all day. I mean, it's very, very, very good. And it's a gut punch too. So you'll leave after the last episode and go, "Why did I do that to myself?" So, and that's always a good time.
That's what you do. Yeah, that's why you watch shows. Yeah,
That's a good ending.
That's right. That's right.
Dave, and I do also, when you mentioned this, and Dave wrote it down, and I did not have it here on my list of questions, but can you just give us a little idea about the homesteading that you
your
have going
situation.
on? And then we'll let you go because I know you have to get up early with, the family and the chickens
we should
and
too,
stuff
but
like that.
we're probably still gonna have to party.
But what is it like there for you guys? What do you got going on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's honestly not that much to tell because we've only been here for just a little over a year. We moved last November to the Ozarks in Arkansas. And my wife and I are both Texas natives, so we've spent our entire lives in Texas until then.
Wow.
I like Texans, good people.
Yeah, and it's really weird, I got to tell you, because a lot of people that we've met out here are also from Texas. Like, we've met very, very few native Arkansans, like almost none. And so, like, contractors we hire to come out to the place to do something, they're all from Texas. Like, oh, yeah, I used to live in Allen and stuff like that. And so
Wow.
it's very weird, but we know more Texans than we used to almost. It's very strange. And so,
Met more Texans.
but we just found this little out of the way place. It's
Oh my gosh.
it's 8.5 acres, so it's not some gigantic
But plenty. Yeah.
250 acre plot of land,
great.
or
No,
whatever,
that's
but it's
so
enough.
great.
It's enough to work with, and it's Arkansas and the Ozarks, so it's hilly, and every direction is either up or downhill. There's not a lot of flat land. It's not like we're going to be raising a bunch of cattle here or something, but it's beautiful. We've got mountains on 3 sides, and we've got a little pond right next to the house. We have a waterfall out the back, the window where our I mean, I'm pointing the wrong way. It's actually over there. But the dining room is on that side of the house, and our window where we sit to eat is looking at the waterfall. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
that's pretty cool.
That is
And it's like,
rad.
that's why we bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
it's,
had a restaurant called The
it's-
Waterfall where you could look at a waterfall while you
That's
ate.
where we had our reception. We would go there, and it was like we just sit there and look at this pretty little waterfall. Yeah.
That's rad.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And
So,
to have that in your home.
It was a steal. Like, there's no price that we would take to sell it. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
it's like it's a manufactured home, which I don't mind terribly.
Sure.
It's got the rooms that I need it to have,
Yep.
and all that stuff.
And a nice
And
piece of
it's
land.
land. We
Yeah.
can do whatever we want to. There's no restrictions out here on what we can and can't do, right? So we can use the land however we want to use it.
That's important.
And we can set up additional structures, and we can do all that stuff without really anybody getting on us
Having
about
to
that.
ask for permission.
Which is valuable.
You have to ask for that permission. Have that. Have
I want to
that
build
piece
a
of paper.
shed.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. How wonderful!
Right.
What? Okay, so just. I swear I'm going to let you go because I'm also a talker too. So this is we're going to both have to tell each other like this is it. You hang up. No, you hang up. What prompted you guys to move from Texas then? Like, what was it that led you away? Unless you don't want to talk about it,
No,
that's okay.
maybe it's like you got in a
Well-
situation where you could. I think that's where we're at.
Oh, it's a lot of things. I mean, excuse me. The kind of short list that I usually give, I guess, because it could literally be a whole nother episode of just talking about
And
this
we
stuff.
want to have
for
you
so
back,
many
seriously.
reasons.
You need to come back.
Oh. Thank you. I would love to. I would love to. Y'all are great hosts, and this is a lot of fun. So,
Thank you, Luke. Thank you.
yeah, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so, but I'll answer your question. So I guess the biggest reason was we could, right? And so just like you said, we could. We we had paid off our house. So we've had one mortgage ever, and we paid it off. And so we were sitting on a paid-for house, and the housing market was going crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
And so we're like, well,
why not?
the thing is always like, okay, if you sell your house, where do you move? Because
you have
we
to
never
buy one
thought
now.
about moving out of state. Yeah, exactly. Where are we going to buy a place? And we wanted some land. You know, if we were going to sell, we'd want to buy some land and get out of the city.
Yep.
And so it's like, well, where do you do that? East Texas, you know, somewhere that has literally nothing going on. West Texas, whatever. We'd be way out away from people, and there, you know, there's downsides to doing it. And so the main downside, though, is it's still expensive. The prices are going up there too.
Yep.
Right. So like, what are we going to be able to buy? Because we lived in a fairly inexpensive house. It was literally the cheapest house that we could find that was like in good enough condition, you know, whenever we bought that.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, but we found Arkansas thanks to a fellow, you know, libertarian, voluntarist type guy that I had been getting to know. He's like, he was talking to me about an intentional community in Arkansas and like buying 400 acres and dividing it up and doing all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, but it got me thinking about it because he was talking about how cheap land is. And so I thought, okay, cool. I'll look into it. And we looked into it. And so it's funny. I was in Arizona at Jack Fest and talking to my friend, learning about Arkansas and cheap real estate. And my wife, Lauren, was at home watching YouTube videos about like, if you are not where you would want to be, like if you're not where you would bug out to, then what are you doing? You should go ahead and move. And so she's like ready to have a conversation about moving.
Wow.
And I have a conversation.
Oh my gosh.
I have to go live with my parents again.
I come home and I'm like, hey, we should move to Arkansas. And she's like, I wasn't thinking about Arkansas, but okay. And then so like a few weeks later, or I don't even remember the time frame exactly, but like literally 2 weeks is what my gut is telling me here. We're like packing up to Arkansas to go check it out and see if that's a good place to live. We vacationed up there and looked around. Like we're in the northern part of the state. So not the Ouachitas where all the crystal mines and the diamonds and stuff are, but just regular old mountains, you know?
Yeah.
And so we were out up there. And so other reasons we moved are my son, who has asthma, could breathe better.
Yeah.
I will tell you, he has not taken a single thing, like no inhalers, nothing since we moved.
Nice.
He's over asthma. He doesn't have asthma now because we don't live around city smog, right? I guess is the only explanation I can come up with. And so, cool. He's not having an allergy attack surrounded by millions and millions of cedar trees, even though he and I both have cedar allergy. That's weird. Okay, so that's a plus mark for a check mark for Arkansas. And then it's also cheap. And we bought, we used to have a little suburban lot, right? We had a small house in a little suburban neighborhood in the city, and now we don't. And going from the lot that we had to 8.5 acres, like we have 45 times the land we used to have. And we paid less money, like we made money moving here. And so it's like, okay, that's pretty good. On the negative side, it's like we're further away from and stuff, but
further away from what?
Family.
Okay, that's
family,
what I was gonna say, because people in the chat are saying like they have family in the area and it'd be hard to move away, and I think that holds us in because she's an only child. But also I want to say hi to Ben White because he's the Texas guy that is the reason that I like Texas so much. Him and his crew, they're really cool in Texas.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, to move away from family.
But I mean,
that's good.
again, it's like a long list, and there's a bunch of reasons. Part of it was, COVID stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what gets flagged on streams anymore, so like, I don't want to.
It don't
Our
matter.
streams
Our
get flagged
stream.
all the time because we play music
Actually,
and
our
videos.
Facebook video will be banned immediately, and
Yeah.
YouTube we're usually pretty good unless I start playing copyrighted music.
Yeah. And we just
Gotcha.
we just like to listen to music with friends. That's all we like to do, and that's
Apparently, I don't like that.
YouTube's like you can't do that.
Criminal.
It's
criminal.
Yes, we are breaking the law.
Oh, Ben White says I think
Oh,
I'm in
Ben
a
White.
Signal group with something with Luke.
Yeah, Ben White might be in a signal.
I
group
do
with
know
you,
who that
'cause-
guy is.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hello, Ben.
Yeah, him and his crew down in Texas, they do a lot of good
I
work down
know,
there.
right? Oh gosh,
Yep.
Luke, I
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
want you to come back. I know Dave does too. This is just so
Yeah,
much fun. I feel like
There's so much more to talk
we
about.
have so much more to talk about. I mean, just like this is great. You turned my whole
Yeah.
financial world and for a good reason, because the government created the Roths and the 401ks. Duh, Mary, duh. We need to look at something else. I
Hey, who's
never
Ricky Tatum?
never ever 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 thought of.
That is my dad.
Oh,
Hey!
Luke's dad.
Oh my gosh, Luke's dad. Oh my gosh.
They
You
like
got
to visit
you
Arkansas.
got a good one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
did
could go
good.
somewhere cool, and we could drag our family out there. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what
just
we have to
hang
do.
out. Yeah.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm so, this whole thing, my mind is just, and this was so much fun. We should do this again and hang out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You broke
Let's
a lot
do
of the
it.
concepts
Let's
that
do
I
it.
had.
I'm all
'cause
for it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was very strong into Dave Ramsey, and it's like the term and life or full life insurance stuff. I kind of glazed over that. I like the get rid of all your
words
debt.
written down here.
and
I
stuff
have
like that.
words written down that he said.
But I'm really interested in looking at what you're doing, and I might contact you about setting something up.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm sure
And
a lot of our friends here will too.
Yes. And the book. And I love that you wrote the book because you just want to let people know. You're
Yeah.
like Ron Paul in that aspect. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher.
I don't want to be president because
he's
I'll get murdered.
He didn't want to actually be the president. He's like, I just want to teach people. And this is great. Yep. Seriously, thank you. We're gonna drop.
Thank y'all for having me.
Can we drop?
I really
I want to
appreciate
drop
it.
Yeah,
links
Aaron,
here.
drop
yeah.
all the links that you can find.
Drop some links here for Luke. My goodness, please come back. Thank you
let's just
so
chat,
much. This
man.
was fun.
We like to hang out.
lot of fun.
Let me know anytime.
Yeah.
And we'll get you
Thank
that
you.
LLN Minecraft server link.
Yeah, so you can pop in whenever you feel like it.
Okay. Yeah, just send it on Facebook, and I am all ears for all
Yeah,
that.
also, yeah,
thank
everybody
y'all
watching
so
right now.
much for the opportunity. It's been fun. We could be talking for 5 hours, and
Yeah,
I'd
we
still
could.
be having a good time.
We could.
Me
so,
too.
you
Yeah,
know, it's-
same
it's
thing.
So
all
you
good.
guys
So-
find
Just
Luke
say-
on all of his
another time.
platforms
We'll do it
and message him,
yes.
bother him a lot, ask him a lot of financial questions.
He wants. Okay, so here Aaron's got the Amazon. Okay, so check it out. Or
The book
or-
link.
between
that
the
covers it.
lines or between the lies book.com. So
Or you
there's
can look
both.
up Luke Tatum, which I also think is like a soap opera star. I think it came up when I Googled you. So
Who
make sure you
knows?
pick the right
Who
one.
knows? Look for this nice guy. That's who you can
Yeah.
find him. Yeah. Thanks, Luke. Oh my gosh. Have a great day tomorrow
this was
with
a lot of
the
fun.
fam and the chickens and just the peace and quiet that you're living in.
Out in the Ozarks.
Yeah. Have fun.
I didn't
Have
see
a
that
good
show,
day.
so I don't know what it's like.
Have a good. It's not all. The Ozarks are amazing. It's not all about that show.
Okay.
Okay. I'm bad at goodbyes, so Dave
Yeah.
needs to just shut it
I'll
down.
see y'all later.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Luke.
Oh, I hit the wrong button there.
Good night.
I'm the worst at goodbyes. I really am. I'm like, I just want to
gonna
keep
hang
talking. Oh, that was fun and so mind blowing for me. Mm-hmm.
It always feels weird because when I end the call, I just end the call there.
Yeah, you
and
do.
they're just hanging out.
I'll have to message him tomorrow and be
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I'm so awkward at goodbyes, but I really am. I am. I'm just.
I have to just end it.
I tell Dave, you have to like when we're leaving a party, Dave needs to come up and be like, Mary,
Yeah, we got to go.
you're You can come back
Yeah,
if you're good about.
if you're good about saying goodbye.
If you're good about saying goodbye and leaving, you can come back again.
Yeah, Luke was fun, man.
That was so great.
When
wow.
we were getting into like a financial discussion, I was like, "Oh, how's this going to go?" That was.
I was nervous.
My goodness.
'cause I had no clue. Like this stuff just,
Yeah.
you know. Mm-hmm.
We're going to be discussing this because and
Very
we're at a
informative,
point where
yeah.
we should be looking at this kind of stuff for our family and for my future. Because
And
I think about
it's
that.
Like the kids were just asking me like, what can we do? And I'm like, you guys could be, but I'm basing it off of, you put your money in the bank and then you're going to get
interest
your
or
interest
your
and then
dividends
but it's yeah.
Man, that was good.
I want the like you can get the Kindle book, but I want the book. Like I want to hold the book and highlight things,
Because that's my thing. Like every time I have like
pee. I'll be right
I'm
back.
like, oh, that feels weird. So obviously I'm going to die. And I'm like, oh, who's going to take care of my family? Oh, I don't have my life insurance in place. I should have did this already. I actually said that to the HR guy. I saw him walking by and I'm like, when can I get into the life insurance to the shop? And he's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, no. And he's like, you have to wait for open enrollment. I'm like, okay, I can probably make it till then. But yeah, Aaron says, give David money to invest for free. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can go on Twitch here and you can just subscribe for free. It comes with your Prime thing. But yeah, good discussion with the youngins. I think with our group here, or pretty much anybody of any age, this was a good discussion to set this in place. Like you said, the younger you are, the better to get started. Before you're on medications or you have a medical history, man, that's an easier physical to get through. Yeah, that's my plan, Aaron. But also, I don't live the best, as you can see through the stream. And now it's gonna start getting awkward. Yelling. I deny my medical history. So the longer Mary's gone, the more awkward the show is going to get, and I'm about to play a commercial. But I almost don't want to do it during his show because he seems like a really nice guy, and nobody wants to see Whipple. So if Luke's dad's still here, and I might actually do this, you should probably just log off. And he did a great job. That was a really fun conversation. Coneth, you're being voted out. And I know I came across some new commercials, but I haven't done them yet. But betting your life, there's 100% return on that. What do we got? Not Riot. I could do Chill. But that's really long. These are all so horrible. Oh God. I don't know. I've been on vacation for a couple weeks. I forgot. I haven't listened to a podcast in a long time. But we're going to do the nice one and say that tonight's episode has been brought to you by Whipple.
Sounds like Catherine. If she could have just, got past the cursing and the violent references, I think she would have really liked some like Christian form of Whipple. Worried you ruffle a few feathers trying to get the good word out? Well, frick you then, Sister Christian. I'll pray for Jesus to kick your sweater stretchers off at the second coming. Jesus didn't just turn water into wine, he turned weakness into flippin' Whipple. Out now, Whipple, Christian edition. Same stimulants as regular Whipple, minus all the Satan. Oh, you didn't know? We put the devil in every 48-ounce can of regular Whipple? Shut the flip up and drink up, Buttercup! God didn't crucify his only son to then have a weak bottom army full of nothing but timid flippin' frick faces. Jesus loves everyone, but when your dumb bottom has been long burning, he will not have whipped. Only Jesus saves souls, and only flippin' Whipple lets you reach those souls month after month with zero sleep. Flip you, flip your family, and drink Whipple! Now available in Christian edition flavor, Strawberry Crusades, and Chocolate Crucifixion. You can listen to the H.P. Lovecraft episode if you're real confused about Whipple. Or you can just
So that was the nicest one. I haven't checked my Whipple playlist that I put up on YouTube through our channel, but I'm pretty sure Swole Skeasley is the only one watching him over and over.
On repeat. I'm eating chips.
No, we're at 11:30.
Yeah. I feel like we should.
Oh.
I feel like we should
Not do an after party?
go because like.
Mary says
have
we
a
shouldn't do
thing.
an after party.
I just know.
And Ryan hasn't seen any of the Whipple ads.
I just saw Conant up there like, no, please, no, Whipple, no.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel.
Oh gosh.
No, we can't do a Zoom after
can't
party
Zoom,
because we gotta shut down. But we should shut down the stream
We
because
should-
this was a
we
very
should-
good interview,
yes.
and it's something he might want to share. And I think we've already gone too far. And we
With the
made
Whipple
a new
ad.
friend.
I know, right? Oh my gosh, he was so nice. And I went upstairs and I told David, I'm like, it went so great.
Yeah.
Like my mind is just like, whoa.
All right.
Okay,
so let's a little bit, just teeny. I'm gonna go pee and then
Tiny after party.
yeah, tiny after party.
has
I'm
to
gonna
be
get some
tiny.
more whiskey. We're gonna watch some music videos. It's gonna be a mess.
No. Oh, no. We have family to visit tomorrow, so
we got a big day
cannot.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a 12:15.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
it.
reasonable.
12:15. I'm setting the phone alarm.
All right, we'll be right back. But also, good night, guys.
Stay on Twitch if you're on Twitch.
If you're on
That's
Twitch.
where, Twitch is where it's going to be
Ryan.
happening.
Get a Twitch account.
Go to Twitch. He has one.
Yeah.
Go to Twitch. We'll be right back.
All right, good night, guys.
Love y'all. Happy New.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series. I'm here to spill the real tea. You're trying to dethrone me from spot on number one, but you India, you lose. So best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done. Cause we only just begun. I review you. Zero vibe is gone. So come on, T-Series. Looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Ooh. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 90 rolls of worlds to hold your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now download the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just wet in their pajama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Subbot!
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. It's potty training time, will be so much fun. I help you with your training pants, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her...
Centralized away out in the sticks.
Now this goes out to all area clicks. Centralize the way out in the sticks. Remember to keep the daylight in the mix, cause like log cabin syrup, my sound is mean thick. Now this goes out to